After visiting more than 100 different countries and helping build one of the fastest growing companies in the United States, which was a fully remote and an 8-figure business, in this video today, I'm going to share everything I've learned on my journey of working and traveling around the world, and I'm going to show you how you can also construct your own life of work-life balance. So let's dig into what I've learned and the top 5 things I've learned for optimizing work and life balance. So one of the most valuable assets we have in our life is time, and this is probably something that we don't actually spend enough of time auditing. So every month or every quarter, I recommend people creating a spreadsheet and documenting every hour or every few hours of time that they spend. What task are you doing? What's taking a lot of your time? Maybe you're spending time on stuff that you could easily outsource or automate. And essentially this spreadsheet will give you a clear indicator of the things you're doing and then ranking those things on which things you like to do, which things you absolutely hate doing. And then you can allocate how much it would cost to outsource that task that you don't like doing. Once you have those 10 or 15 things you're doing every week, you'll be able to clearly see, okay, I hate doing this. It's only $5 an hour to outsource this. So I'm going to essentially outsource or automate this task and essentially buying back more of that free time that you have. So this is going to be something that is absolutely essential, and I suggest people doing this at least once a quarter to figure out what they're wasting their time on and what can be easily outsourced or automated. So one of the examples that I love to share is I have a private chef because one, I don't like cooking. It takes up a lot of time to go do grocery shopping, to prepare meals, to figure out all this stuff. And in the end of the day, I end up eating more healthy, I end up saving a lot of time, and overall, it's just a win-win for my situation. Again, not everyone can afford a private chef, so what are some other alternative options? Whether you're doing a meal delivery service, where this meal delivery service just drops off your meals for the day, and you're gonna be eating a little bit healthier, you're not gonna have to waste time on going out to eat, shopping, cooking, preparing, and cleaning. The other option is to do meal prep. A lot of people love doing this. Once a week, you're preparing your meals for the week. On Sunday, you're spending 4 or 5 hours and you're gonna create every meal you have for the next week and so on. So there's some sort of level that's gonna make sense for everyone. And essentially this is optimizing your time to not have to spend 2 to 3 hours doing something that I personally don't like and isn't bringing me a huge ROI. So that extra time I can spend allocated on things that are gonna bring me a lot more money into my business. And this is essentially why a time audit is so important. So after you've done this time audit, I recommend trying to, one, automate first, because that's gonna be the cheapest and usually the easiest option. There's gonna be things that are a lot easier to automate in your day-to-day tasks, but there's gonna be some things that are almost impossible. If you can't automate it, then I suggest outsourcing it to an agency, a freelancer, a 1099 employee. And if for whatever reason you can't do that, then I suggest hiring somebody in-house full-time to go ahead and take care of that, whether that's a full-time employee or a part-time employee. That's going to be the recommended areas of progression that is going to achieve the best results for automating, outsourcing, and then essentially hiring in-house. So a lot of people ask me how I'm able to balance work and travel. I travel a lot, and if you've seen my travel itineraries, you might be a little bit amazed on how I'm able to get anything done. The way I'm able to do this is, one, I've outsourced and automated a lot of things, key things in my businesses. The other thing is, a lot of times I like to pick a travel hub, and for me, that's Georgia. I'm spending a lot of time here. When I'm here, my routine is extremely optimized. I'm able to really work and expand my businesses. And then when I'm traveling, I'm usually taking weekend trips. I'm taking shorter trips from this travel hub. Instead of being on the road for 3 or 4 months, I have a travel hub and then I take short trips from that travel hub. That's gonna be the best option for the majority of people, because if you're trying to travel and work at the same time, you're most likely not gonna be successful at both of those things. It's really hard to multitask. And again, if you have a travel hub, you're still gonna be able to dedicate your time to traveling, and 100% of that travel, you're just gonna be able to enjoy it. And then when you're back in your hub, you're gonna be easily into your routine and you're gonna focus on working and growing your businesses. So everyone needs some me time, and I highly suggest scheduling at least 1 or 2 days a week. Most likely this is gonna be Saturday and Sunday, where you're going to be doing activities that are going to give you a bit more refreshment. Going to the spa, going hiking, going on a walk, doing some sort of activity that's not going to leave you, when you come back to Monday, more burnt out. So partying, drinking, all that stuff can be fun, but again, a lot of times by Monday morning, you're more tired than when the weekend began. So you wanna find some activities, some me time where you're not in front of a screen, you're not in front of your phone, you're doing something that's going to make your life healthier and going to refresh you for when Monday comes around the corner. And number 5, you need to have hobbies in your lifestyle because these hobbies are going to challenge you outside of your business or outside of your job. So I suggest having a hobby that's going to make you happy, healthy, and wealthy. These 3 hobbies are going to be stuff that you absolutely love doing. So it's not going to feel like work, but you want to find something where you can challenge yourself. So let's say, for example, it's going to the gym. This is something that I absolutely love doing. Every time I go to the gym, I'm challenging to hit new milestones, to hit new benchmarks. Maybe it's gonna be a heavier lift. Maybe it's gonna be spending more time swimming in the pool. Maybe it's gonna be spending, X amount of hours per week doing this hobby. So whatever it is, make sure you're challenging yourself in those hobbies. Some of the other things I love doing that make me happy is just traveling, spending times with friends, hosting events, going to events. Again, these things are gonna sometimes have things that make you happy, healthy, and wealthy at the same time. So that's why I love networking, because it kind of checks a lot of boxes for me. And then lastly, I'm obsessed with online marketing and entrepreneurship, so I'm reading a lot of books, I'm taking a lot of programs, and I'm also watching a lot of YouTube videos to learn more about this industry. So these are 3 of the hobbies that I love. You have to try out a lot of things to see what's gonna work for you. But again, playing sports, going to meetups, figuring out some way to stay educated, whether that's going to webinars, seminars, watching YouTube videos. Again, a lot of this stuff isn't super expensive. You can go for a walk outside, or you can get into hiking for free if you can't afford a gym membership. There's every level of hobby and there's every level of expense. But again, there are some key benefits to having these more expensive hobbies because it's gonna have a barrier to entry. This is a reason why golf courses or country clubs are so popular for businessmen, because 1, it takes a little bit of time and money to get started, and the people who are going to be going to these country clubs have at least an average salary to where they're able to afford a membership, they're able to afford all the expensive gear. So there is some really great aspects to figuring out hobbies that are going to actually help your business and help your personal growth. So I'm curious, what are some of the ways that you've been able to balance work and life balance? Make sure you leave a comment below and let me know which ways you're able to achieve your own work-life balance. Again, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to get alerted about the new videos I'm coming out with almost every day. Take care and thanks again.